Last time on Kerbal Space Program. Please stop. Okay. Okay, these gimbals suck. Okay. See, we're learning stuff today. Let's just collect all of this science. Now that we can. Actually, screw this crew port. I want one in space. It seems we are very much in space right now. The sky seems to be mostly below us. Thank you, Jeb, for your wonderful words of true wisdom. Would you stop spinning? Where the atmosphere is, which means down is where the hot is. But that doubly doesn't matter because we're not going remotely fast enough to get hot. Oh. But thank you, the default comparison on this parachute is such that we can't actually get off. Yeah, great. Thanks. Why is it configured that way? Why do I do that here? Hang on. Okay. Screw this. Give me a second. Okay. Hi. So we are back in mid-flight. I will explain what I did in a moment, but first I have to edit this. But just check what the heck is going on here. We are in mid-flight because my game decided to save in mid-flight instead of in the ground, which actually kind of makes sense because I didn't press revert before Alt F4ing when I realized the game had misconfigured me. So that's great. But basically, I have made a few small changes. First of all, I turned on the setting where staging a parachute arms the parachute, not tries to deploy it immediately. This is looking excellent. Basically, that means that there are these parameters that say when to deploy the parachute, and instead of trying to deploy it immediately and then failing because we're not within those parameters, we wait until we're within those parameters and deploy it automatically, which is how I want them to act anyway. So that's nice. The second thing I have done is I have found that there is no setting to control the defaults for this, so my choices were modify the game so that I could automatically have the action group menu and reset this, or modify my parachutes mod so that I could automatically have these settings. So I did the second one. I wrote a mod for my mod to make all of the parachutes have default settings I actually like. We are getting some serious Z fighting over there, which I'm not sure if that's related to this, and I might have to fix that. Eek. That G-force. The other thing I modified was the terrain quality. I went and I found that my GPU was basically capped because of all these visual mods that we're running, which is great. Still need to play with those, but I basically changed the settings so we have lower quality lighting and we might see a little bit more jaggy action if we zoom out like this. But the terrain quality should be a lot higher now. Please do not roll. Okay. Please stop it with the rolling. Why are we rolling uphill? This is kind of funny. Anyway. Just gonna casually jump out. Yeah. That's gonna roll away without us, but that's fine. So with any luck, that worked for the problem we were seeing with the Space Center buildings, where the terrain was just disgusting. Because frankly, that was annoying me more. And it looks better, I think. We'll see later. But anyway, we successfully landed because I edited the parachute this time. And Jeb jumped out and did some science. The science didn't come with him for some reason, but that's fine. And we are going to go just recover this capsule that's been rolling around. And look at how much science we get. Because we've recovered data from space, a lot of data from space, actually. And we have recovered a vessel that has gone to space for the first time ever. So we now have a shitload of science. Aren't you guys excited? We should also have completed those contracts. Eek. Yes. So now we need to go back and test these two, and preferably that. The last test that I ran, the last thing I changed, by the way, was removing the real fuels mod because I was right that it was causing some conflicts, but that took away those side boosters that we were using. So turns out that was the last time we're ever going to get to use those. Oops. So anyway, let's just grab some of these missions. So we can take on 2 more. I already know which 2 they're going to be because I don't like these 5. And this one is put a satellite around the moon when we haven't put a satellite around Kerbal. And this other one is put a satellite around the other moon while we haven't got into orbit around Kerbal. So these 2 are a little bit preemptive. So let's take these. This one is just fly the rocket. Get within this narrow speed window at that altitude. We'll pay you money. Great. This one is the same thing, except it's with a parachute. And it requires us to be surprisingly high for how slow we're going. So those 2 can probably just be one mission with a lot of fuel in it. We now have lots of money, which is excellent. And I like how, by the way, these menus are vibrating. I don't really know why. That's kind of funny. Anyway, I want this so that we can perform more EVAs. If we upgrade them again, what do we need to upgrade to do science samples? We need to do that. I want to do this so that we can do surface sampling of stuff. Because we can get a surprising amount of science from taking samples of these buildings for some reason. And this message reports for those are also suspicious, but you'll find that out later. What should we upgrade next? I don't care about that right now. That's upgraded. Okay. Anyway, next up is basic science, like I mentioned last time. It gives us materials bays. Materials bays gave lots of science. So we could keep going down this way. Going down this way is actually going to give us a lot of really great science stuff. Like these things that are for space stations. But we're kind of reaching the end of how far we can get on our current rocket technology. And this is just like... This is solar panels and lights, and we are kind of really far down this side of the tree and not at all far down this side of the tree. And we are going to very soon run up against the limit of what I can do with my existing rockets. So we're going to grab some of these things. We're going to grab stability so I can have side boosters. Does aviation do anything that I want? No? Okay. So this unlocks aviation. Aviation basically unlocks a bunch of planes. We could do these and take the go place and do science thing. That's kind of boring to watch, though. It takes a long time, because planes are a lot slower than rockets, so I don't really want to, but we might unlock that later. And over here we have general construction. This is kind of useful, I guess. It's not that great, though. These decouplers are nice when we have bigger parts. These containers are nice when we're doing stuff in space already. And the rest of this is kind of lame. So let's go this way. We're going to take basic rocketry so we have bigger rockets. And I want to take general rocketry so we can have even bigger rockets. And after that we're going to see, do I do advanced rocketry or miniaturization next? Miniaturization is going to be the last thing we can do going in the rush all the science experiments direction. Mainly because without upgrading the research and development department, I cannot go beyond beyond 100 technology, or 100 science per technology. And miniaturization costs 90, the next tier up is 160. So this is how far we can go in this direction. And it's gonna give us some good stuff here. EVA experiments is nice. Space exploration, I mean, this is also nice. But this is going to cost us 180 science for a lot that's not going to get us very far until we're landing on the moon. So I kind of want to go for advanced rocketry next, because this is where we start getting these really cool cryogenic engines that burn liquid hydrogen and give us really high performance per weight, because liquid hydrogen is really light. And just look at the difference. And we get bigger fuel. What's this? A firework launcher. Don't want one. Yeah. So, okay, I guess we're gonna go for this. We might grab heavy rocketry, because this is actually really good stuff, too. All of these engines and stuff, you can definitely land on the moon with this and some landing legs that I think we unlocked here, right? Yeah. So we could do this and then grab more science stuff and go for a moon landing. I think might be what we would do if we were trying to get serious with it. But our current next goal... maybe I should have taken a strategy, but it's fine. Our current goal is going to be these two tests. And we also want to test... Where is it? We also want to test this. So basically this time we want to get above 250,000 meters. And can we run these tests? I'm kind of nervous about these speeds. Yeah. So, this time we're going to build one around the probe core. And we're just going to dump it in the ocean, because we do not care that much. Oops. Okay. Note to self, we're going to use one of these guys, so we can have a little bit more communications range, but this is going to be an absolutely stellar rocket, if it makes sense. This part does not make sense, because I don't have an adapter, so this looks really stupid. Hang on. This looks slightly less stupid. Actually, can I... Where was that? Okay, this is arguably more stupid, but... There. Now the stupid is hidden. Away from the world. All of the stupid is in here. Where nobody can see it. But anyway, this time we're going to do a mission that we're not going to recover. Because that's cheaper, and I don't have to remember parachutes. So, our science loadout is going to be a little bit different, because this time we're not going to use these guys, because they are kind of not worth sending if we can't recover them, because that's how they work. So we're basically just going to use these two on this flight. And this enables me to be kind of silly about my design. Use a pug here. Oh, this vehicle could definitely go orbital. Oh yeah. Okay. Excuse you. Yes. Okay, so here is my wonderful plan for a rocket. I forget, do these have gimbals? Yes, they do. Brilliant. You don't have a gimbal. But that may or may not be a problem. Anyway, I can't do anything about it. Okay, so our mission, should we choose to accept it, and we do, will be to get this thing onto a high suborbital trajectory of altitude 250,000 meters and use these tests multiple times. Actually, if I was intelligent, I would do this. No, I wouldn't. Dang it. Ugh. If you rotate that thing, you can rotate the entire part, but it rotates its controls too, which is kind of going to be awkward. So, we're going to be using these along the way to collect science. Do I have a battery? I guess. I'm just gonna stick a couple batteries in here. In the service bay of shame. So, in theory, we should be able to get this into orbit. In reality, I don't know if that's gonna work. But we'll try. Sure. That's better. But we're basically gonna try to get above 250,000 meters, test this thing, and we're going to try to do this science. 250,000 meters will get us into space high above Kerbal instead of space low above Kerbal, which means that the science that we do is going to be better, which would be wonderful. It would also be wonderful if we were recovering our wonderful little things here, but that actually... Hang on. I just had a brilliant idea, which may or may not actually be brilliant. But... No, what am I doing? Okay, I lied. We're actually going to recover our ship. Sorry. One of these... This is going to look extra stupid, but it's going to work. Two of those. Yes. Okay. This. I want a heat shield. This guy, and I want a parachute. There we go. So, new mission plan. We're gonna do whatever I was saying before, except at the end of it, this experiment return unit is going to come back with all of our science on board, including the science we get from these two mystery goos and this science module. Brilliant, I know. this means... Hang on. I need to do some rejigging here. The part is gonna kind of be screwed up because now our re-entry stage is gonna have absolutely no control. So as soon as I decouple this, this is just a piece of debris that has all of our science on it. I'm going to... This is our first serious spacecraft, so to speak. So I'm going to give it an appropriate name. And from here on out, I'm going to stop reverting my save. So this is going to be... I don't know. We need a sounding... I'll come up with a naming convention later if this becomes an actual thing that we keep doing. So I need to be careful about how I set this up. So we're going to ignite these 2 side boosters, and that's going to complete the mission. I'm going to run a test on this pug for the other mission. And I'm going to make sure it's shut down before we turn on any throttles. Then we're going to burn these out to completion, which is kind of stupid. Then we're going to fire this hammer and try to get up to 250,000 meters. Then we have this pug. I don't really know why we have the pug besides for the mission. Maybe we're trying to get to orbit. I guess we could try to get to orbit, but I don't think it's worthwhile. I think this is just here to make sure we get above 250, just in case. Or we can use it to decelerate and try to grab more science before we detach this. But along the way, I'm going to use these 2, flying low, flying high. Can we? 855. Okay, maybe this is just going to be landed and this one's going to be flying low. Then these are going to detach. We're going to be doing science with these and storing it in this return unit the whole way. I'm going to use these 2 in space and recover them. Again, I guess. We're going to use this guy in space and we're going to recover it. Probably space high if we can manage it. And that is my great evil plan to get science. Alright. And on that note, should I do this? Okay, we're gonna have some fins here, just so aerodynamic reasons, because we want this end to keep going back, even though we have this stuff sticking out up top. Can this fly? No, we need more part limit in the fab. How annoying. We need 225 for that. Okay, we need to run one more flight before we do that. I get it. I get it. Hang on. One more non-serious flight, and then we'll do that. Alright. Once again, we're not recovering this one. But we're gonna basically use the same little trick to hide away our shame. This flight, we're not doing any science. We're just gonna try to hit these 2 tests. So, Mark 16 parachute. Yeah. For the Mark 16 parachute, we need an adapter, which means I guess our only adapter for these sizes is the wonderful and kind of expensive experiment storage unit, but what are you gonna do, right? So our goal for this is just to use a bunch of fuel. That might be enough, question mark. Use this swivel, and actually, we're gonna make this a boat tail. Look at that. And we are trying to get just a lot of speed out of this, or rather a lot of delta V, because what we want to do is hit both of these contracts. Actually, we might be able to do that one too. And with all of these parachutes, we might even actually be able to recover it after I said we're not recovering things. But do I have... Yeah, let's put some landing gear on it. Is it long enough? No. Nowhere near close. Yeah. Kind of figured. That is hilariously short. What is the... Okay, these are better. So we could probably... Here. We could do something like... this. To try to make it so that when this flops over onto this parachute, these landing legs catch it. Probably won't work. Might work. We'll find out. These legs are cheap anyway, so if it doesn't work, I don't really care. But our flight plan is essentially go up, try to hit this, 7,000 meters, 140 meters per second, then try to hit 80 by the time we get to 11, then try to get 826 kilometers. We need more fuel, naturally. There! This looks pretty stupid, doesn't it? And I'm just gonna sort these by altitude. We need to test them out just in case that matters. We might actually need to do these ones on the way back down. Yeah, you know what? Let's test the parachutes on the way back down. So we're gonna try to hit 26,800 meters per second. Cut off the engines and try to slow down while we're falling to catch these. Brilliant. Alright. And hopefully, if we get all of these contracts done, we'll have enough money to upgrade the vehicle assembly building, and therefore launch the other thing, which I care about more. And, just for the fun of it, let's launch this from the desert launch site. I'm going to assume desert is on purpose. This is the final major release of Kerbal Space Program. By the way, it's been out for about a year. Let's just assume this is supposed to be the desert launch site, not the desert launch site, even though it's in the desert. It's the desert airfield, the desert launch site. It's whatever. But yes. I'm going to open up this contracts window and look at the contracts that we're actually paying attention to. So, what do you mean we have no SAS modules? Does this thing not have working SAS? Okay, this is going to be fun. So I have to fly this manually, I guess. So this is going to be a lot of pilot management going on. Trying to keep an eye on this and keep it mostly straight up while also controlling our altitude. And yeah, that's not gonna work. I am going to need fins. Seriously not have... Yeah, I hate you. Okay. Well, maybe that other thing isn't such a good idea either, but we'll try that too if this works. Fins. Back to the desert launch site. Basically, I need fins to help me keep this thing straight. So otherwise, this won't work all that well. I maybe also need batteries, because I'm realizing I only have 10 electric charge. And I guess it doesn't drain that fast, so we'll see. Okay. And take two. I really expected this module down here to have at least stability assist. to keep it from moving too much instead of nothing. But no. Yeah, you can tell I'm actually paying more attention to this flight because I'm talking less, trying to keep us pointed straight while also keeping an eye on how we're doing, speed and altitude wise. And you can see by the nav ball and probably also by the rocket, but I'm not looking at that so much, we're getting some serious pilot-induced oscillation problems. In other words, I'm being too heavy-handed with the controls, and I keep overshooting where I want to be. Okay, but I want to hit 26,000, so now we can test this. Run test. We did not successfully run the test. Excuse you. Damn it. Okay, now this is kind of bad because we don't have control when the engine is not firing. So I may have screwed up by trying to be cheap out and do this instead of using a pilot, which can have some control of the vehicle. I also appear to have accidentally launched this into space, I think. Experiment return unit. Oh, come on. You don't have collect all. Okay, well, the other flight plan also is not going to work, I guess. Ugh. Why does this not support control all? Collect all? The world may never know. I'm just waiting for this to come back down, by the way. Because I do not have any control of the rocket as long as this engine is not ignited, which it currently is not. Yeah, almost made it to space. Look at that. 4 kilometers away. And we still have a third of our fuel, more or less. Anyway, hang on. Let's just speed up time a little bit. Excuse you. There we go. So I missed my window again. To ignite this engine on time. Parachute. Come on. Please. Oops. Okay, whatever. Pretty sure. Yeah, we missed this because I was struggling with the controls too much. Because I kind of designed a really garbage rocket, but it's okay. We have parachutes. We'll recover something. We got one contract, which actually paid incredibly well. Holy crap. Almost well enough to get all of our money back that we needed. So we're going to extend the landing gear and see if this can actually in some way not explode. I'd say survive, but the real goal is not exploding. I got scared that we weren't going to land on time, so I did a little bit of a powered landing maneuver, you could call that. I'm gonna try to soft touch down as much as possible, though. Brilliant. We don't tip over at all. These landing legs were completely unnecessary. Okay. Spin is leading us very,